When you search something on Google, you will not find the truth. You will find what you are searching for. But people mistake it for the truth. And that's why, well, I found it on Google, so it must be true. And I find the complete opposite. And well, my reality is also true because I found it on Google. And so Google or Facebook or you name them, they feed the people because at the end of the day, it's about screen time. They want to keep you on the screen. And if they feed you something, if they give you something that you don't like, then you will not stay. On the internet, there's a multitude of let's say realities, and everyone is going down their own rabbit hole or filter bubble, and we don't even see like what's outside. That's why my first recommendation here, when you look for something, always look for whatever you want to look and for the complete opposite. So let's take a nutrition. When you look for why vegan nutrition is good, also look for why vegan nutrition is not good. So you always you get both sides. I always hear, well, I'm on Facebook, but I don't use it. Or I'm on whatever and I don't use it. Yes, you might not use it, but you are friends with someone who uses it. So you might have a similar profile. They will cross-reference and so on and so forth. So wherever we are signed on, we are giving them data, even if we don't do anything, just by the connections we have, just by the friends, by the simple, easy stuff we post, even if we don't post meaningful stuff. They still get data through all of these references. It's like a huge map of information, or like a brain of information that they have built up now. And we can fake anything on Instagram. We can fake anything on Facebook. But when we are on a search engine, we ask for true questions that really interest us. So we do not fake on a search engine. So the search engine is actually the most, or the clearest access to how we feel, the clearest access to what interests us. So sovereignty is one big thing. Obviously privacy, which kind of ties into that as well. My data is my data, and I can decide what's going on with my data. Super important one. Democracy. I have a checklist, and I apply this checklist every time I buy a service. And service can be anything. It can be a program, a software, an online service, or a hardware. So open source is number one on my list. Like Firefox is open source. Then there are some de-Googled Android platforms like the eFoundation, that's open source. Then we have the base of the Chrome browser, which is also used in the Brave browser. I cannot recommend using the Chrome browser, especially not if you're signed in with your Gmail account, because then basically anything you do, anything you search, anything is tracked. Also, encryption is a big thing. And there are different kinds of encryptions, and I also explain them. I keep referencing the course because I have like the extended information is always in the course. There are different types of encryption. And when Apple says, well, everything is encrypted, then this sounds good. But the question is, how is it encrypted? When you use a service, ask yourself, do I really need it? And then ask yourself, do you really need it? And then ask yourself, do I really need it? And then obviously, I mean, we all check the privacy policy, but it does make sense to quickly go through the privacy policy and see what data they're actually collecting, and then ask again, is it worth it? And then like really only sign up to what you really need. It's under the age of 2, no screen time at all. And it's for the development of the kid. Kids need to be bored in order to create attention. It's a lot easier when you explain to kids why they shouldn't use that. And this can be different explanations. And you can say, whatever, mom and daddy are working on that, and that's why they need to use that. But we also have our boundaries. We do this, and that. We don't have the phone underneath our pillow. We don't have the phone in our bedroom. We don't use the phone in our living room. We only have it in our office. And so really also for the parents having these boundaries, so the kids can, because the kids are basically learning from the parents, right? So the kids can also learn, I only have my phone in certain in certain rooms, in certain areas. We are going into new technology. We're going into something that's into other operating systems, into different operating systems, and so on. So yeah, we have to be patient. We have to be open. We might even say, okay, some things are just not working. The question is, do we really need it? Is it just out of convenience that I have my phone with me all the time? And once I can replace all these addictions and this urges to check my phone, to check my computer and my emails, and I feel that for myself, it's like we're all in the same boat. But once you can replace that with your purpose, you have a straight, clear line. One thing that I'm very convinced of is super important for the future is also decentralization. We need to get electricity, the whole IT stuff, data storage. We need to completely decentralize that. We could create a metaverse, a decentralized metaverse that is a way of collaborating and is a way of sharing technology that's not censored, is a way of all of these patents and so on. And I'm very much for, like, if someone invents something, that's amazing, but I think it's super, super important to share technology. And that's why I love this open source idea, and none of the softwares we are using today would work without open source. And it's just developers sitting there coding something that they need and sharing it with the world. And I think that's where technology needs to go towards. We need open source technology. So we have free energy for everyone. So we have clean water for everyone. Most of us have lost the connection to the higher self, the true self, to the heart. And does it really matter what anyone else thinks outside to our mission, to our purpose here on Earth? I don't think so. So we will only find any answer for our purpose within us. So when we start learning, going more and more back to our heart, we just know what's, maybe not what's the truth, but what's right for us, what's right for our purpose, what's right for where we want to go, or what the universe, source, however you want to call it God, has up for us.